Hey, Apex AB, we're back with another beautiful episode, and we're gonna talk about something that's heavy, like that deep ass heavy grandma you got. Black people know what I'm talking about. Everybody got a heavy ass grandma. My grandma, they're both. Well, I think I got one wife. Yeah, one wife, but these niggas be heavy. So anyway, the crash out. See, something monumental happened in human history, and me as a biologist, which is my job, is my job to analyze these things and then tell you what I see and give it to you as scientific and logical as possible. I'm gonna close my window. Want people looking in on this fucking beautiful ass show. This is a real douche bit. I need to get my notebook and start writing about this. But people are gonna fill in, so I wait a little bit. Heavy shit. So having me some notes. Okay, I'm gonna talk about a lot of different topics. It's gonna be a long show, so buckle up, enjoy it. So the crash out. The crash out comes in many different forms, and essentially, my definition of what a crash out is when somebody unintentionally, when somebody intentionally or unintentionally ruins their life by not thinking. See, what a lot of people do in life is that they have to think, and thinking allows you to prosper in life. But see, some people are not very good at thinking. They need to be told what to do, and this is why the crash outs occurred. See, people need to be told what to do because they don't want to think. Thinking is very hard. And it takes a little while. You make a lot of mistakes early on in the game. So a lot of people stay away from thinking because they're like, geez, man, every time I think for myself, I fuck something up. Instead of understanding, you learn from the mistake, you just don't do it again. Everybody fucks up. That's part of being a human. Makes the game fun. Once you realize everybody fucks up, it's not very difficult to go through life if you fuck up. You're like, oh, well, you did something stupid too. And he's like, yeah, I did something stupid. Just admit to an own fault and keep going. But here's the thing with the crash out. Crash out people don't have the ability to admit fault, and they don't have the ability to even comprehend that they're at fault. Like most people are crashing out unintentionally. Very few people crash out intentionally, unless they're just something is truly angry and really an emotional state. But some people do a very slow crash out, like you would call it almost like a death by 1,000 pricks. And so now, like the most radicalized, we're seeing them crash out already. Like today, I was walking in Zyker Park, and I saw a guy who was shirtless, no shoes, walking across the park. You might be like, well, what's so crazy about that? The nigga had a ghillie hat on. Like he was fully covered down to about his navel. And I'm like, why is this guy covered down to his navel? It makes no sense. Why is any of this happening? He crashed out. And that's what I'm saying. When you start saying shit that makes no sense, that means people crashed out. So like if you see the transgender people crashing out, they were the first people to crash out. Guys that started to dress up like girls and started pretending they're women, that is called crashing out. That means you truly don't think for yourself because somebody told you could be a woman. You decided, well, I'm going to be a woman, not understanding you can't be a woman. And you want to stick with the thing so right because somebody told you to do it that you'll fight tooth and nail to be wrong. And that's what most people are doing. Most people are fighting tooth and nail to be wrong, which is quite actually useful for me as a human being because it lets me identify who's a dumb. Like if I have to keep telling you something and you do it again, tell you something, you're doing it, and then you try to argue, I'm like, oh, good. I don't have to deal with this person anymore. Excellent. That's fucking awesome. Most people don't take that approach. I always take that approach. And see, what I'm realizing is most people don't have that ability to discern that, so they end up crashing out with other people. See, there's now groups of crash outs occurring because the crash out people are meeting other crash out people. They're basically telling them, hey, look, this thing we're doing, it makes sense, and everybody else is wrong. We're right, and we're going to stick together. How you doing, Long Fam? Doing good. I'm just talking to myself in the camera, but people are going to appreciate this later in time because they're going to go back to this video when I become semi-famous, and this is not even to brag about myself, but they're gonna look and say, "Oh wow, he really called the 2030 crash out," when everybody pretty much just crashed out. And see, this is what happened. You got to think of it like a roller coaster. Some people are already hit like the falling down point, but other people are still in the back of the ride going up, getting ready to fucking crash out. And so those people are in the back, like, "Oh, we're doing good, doing good." And so here's the thing with the crash out: it means that you didn't think long enough. So you climb, but you didn't think to have another step to keep climbing. And then you just take a step, and then you just hit the ground, terminal velocity. And see, this is what human beings are like. Human beings, the beauty of man is that you have foresight, that you can be able to plan things out. So if you're planning your life out, no, I actually agree with you, Jacob. I'm just saying 2030 because it sounds good, but honestly, I'm guessing 2 years, 2 or 3 years max. If we get 30, I'll be kind of mad. I'd rather be earlier than later if I'm keeping a full stack with niggas. Because I want to be able to celebrate. I'm rooting for the crash out because I want to get the spoils while I'm nice and young and still fresh. I can still just move and shit. Most people are not going to be moving. See, if it goes slow, people are going to start to adapt very slowly. But if it starts just a shock, the average person is so out of shape, so instincts just fried, terrible social skills. They're not even leaving the house. I'm telling you, if people started thinking shit was going bad, they would not leave the house. And I saw this with COVID. I was going out the house every day. I didn't care what the fuck people told me. Oh, you gotta sit in the house. Okay, well, I'm going outside. I don't see police stopping me. Why would there be police stopping you? And I was going to Target, going to all these places, just watching, observing people in the panic. I'm like, what are you guys panicking about? Why is there any type of panic in this situation? People filled out the fucking line in Costco, like out the door. I got pictures of the shit. I'm just like, why? What are you doing? And I would just come back like right before closing and get in there easily. Nobody just screwed through the line. That's when I realized, oh, like the average person can't think very well. That's true. It isn't true. Never a reason to panic. Panic does nothing for you except for waste his energy. Wasting energy, and God has made us analytic creatures. So as long as you're not getting hit by anything or you're not about to be in real death danger and you're observing around you, there's no reason to be panicking. God gave us sense for a reason. You should use it. That's what I try to tell most people. Most people don't use their good sense. So what has happened is the what you call it, my apologies. What has happened with the great crash out now is that people were locked into their house on the internet for like 18 hours a day. Some people getting paid to stay at home. Some people just never leaving the house, getting food ordered to them. Instacart blew up. I made such a bag off of Instacart in Cali because they would double pay you. It was insane. Talking about like $1,000 a week on Instacart, dropping groceries off. And I was like, damn, I'm making more than doing this than I made from my fucking job. And I did burn my car out. But anyway, besides the point, I got to see an inside of everybody because I'm actually moving around, talking to people, seeing people, interacting with them while everybody else is locked in. So I didn't really lose my social skills to any degree. But a lot of people just sat in the house and they did work from home and they would have Zoom meetings. And that was the only interaction that most people had. And you consider most women are single and most guys don't get any ass except for very few. Everybody was essentially by themselves for like 16 hours on the day or with at their families. They're just interacting with nobody besides people and just communicating through a phone. And so phone became a new language during that time period. Because if there's no human interaction, what are you doing? You're communicating through the phone. So now the rules change because a greater amount of your time is spent on the phone and on the internet and doing OnlyFans. So like girls are still looking for attention. They can't get attention in the house. So where are they going to get attention? Phones, texting guys, filming videos, just doing fucking whatever on the internet to get guys to look at them, looking at old pictures that they used to do and this photoshopping. That's when the game got fucked. See, guys don't realize it was still plausible to find a decent chick prior to 2020, not even find a good chick, but just have a positive interaction with a woman in 2021. Or like most women that you would come across, maybe like 30%. Now the percent's like 5. You're not going to have any good interactions with a woman for the most part. It's either going to be like you're sexing or she just ignores you completely. If you play like the beta guy, then you can play around longer. She'll play with you longer. but eventually he's going to get rid of you. So now, like, they have so much attention. It's insane, and their brains are truly fried. Like women's, like you think guys are bad? No, women are fried. Women are fried from the fucking crash out from the COVID shit. Fried because they're getting mixed things told to them about the. Nigga, there's no point even texting girls anymore. It could text you. I actually might do that. That might be like a smart idea if I start to build my stats. But I'm not even texting girls anymore. Like I'm just done. I'm out the game completely. A woman's got to really show me something at this point in life. There's nothing left in the field that makes me want to try. So now women have completely changed the game because now the whole game is like texting and sex based. It's just finished. And so now guys are looking like, okay, so what should I do? I can't go out to work. My job has me stuck. I can't go to work. I'm getting paid a paycheck maybe. And the only thing I do is talk to girls on the phone. They started getting mad because they're like, what? I can't get any sex anymore. I can't even do anything. Unless I'm one of these top percent guys that have like a Maserati or something like that. She's not coming over to my fucking apartment. It's just not happening. And so guys started to adopt the Andrew Tate and all these new characters on the internet. They learn how to change themselves into these random characters on the internet. I had a 7-year one. And she changed quickly. After COVID, I was like, holy fuck. Like, no, this is not happening no more. I understand you're not even pain. It's actually a relief. I don't have to have this burden anymore. But anyway, so guys started radicalizing their online presence. You started to see the rise of the guru. Yep. See, the smart guys got out of the relationships with COVID. Everybody else, I don't know what they were thinking. They're still rocking with the relationship. I'm like, I don't know, man. Like, if you're really in the field, really putting work in, you would have seen the difference and you would have bowed out with whatever girl you had because she would have probably left you hanging. Not going to trust you. Yep, exactly same here. I'm just not tolerating bullshit. And that's what happened. Guys got on the fucking internet. Thank you. Wisdom. This is a real game. Trust us. Trust the universe. Things are going to correct themselves and we'll be rewarded for our patience and not dealing with fuck shit. Because a lot of guys can be hurting. A lot of guys are crashing out by girlfriend. That's another one. Crashing out by woman. See, what people don't understand is there's many forms of the crash out. You can crash out by dog. There's crash out by drugs. There's crash out by like just social surgery. There's crash out by woman. There's crash out by blowing dough. There's crash out by laziness. There's crash out by like mass shooting. That's the most extreme. But the grand majority of people are doing like mini crash outs. Like they're too scared to do a fucking major one. And so most niggas felt it during the COVID. The game changed up. Niggas got like, what the fuck is going on here? This is insane. I'm out. And you started to see the rise of the internet guru, cool guy with the fucking Lambo suits and shit, going out to fine dinners, like crazy tattoo. This is ultimate player lifestyle. That's when that shit really started to rise because people started taking note. Like, wait, hold up. Nobody's going outside. If I rent a car, you're telling me that people would think that I really have the car and I can pretend online, I'll get followings, people will buy my PDFs. And that's what the game was. I was one of the dumb people who bought these PDFs. That's why I'm very mad. I'm like, what the fuck? This shit didn't do anything. I got swindled. Course grip. I'm telling you, you saw the rise of CJ and Tate was essentially the ultimate form of that guru guy, which is why it's hilarious that he went down. But Tate was like the king. He was the best to ever do it. Like I looked at it like pro wrestling on the internet. After a certain time, after I started to figure out, I'm like, hold up. Niggas is playing pro wrestling. I'm being real. Dude, Tate was the gold standard of the goddamn he's the gold standard of the grifter. He's the top G, the top grifter. That's what he should be called. I'm calling that. I got that. I'm taking this shit, man. Niggas ain't respecting this fucking game out here. Now I gotta schmit it. The top grifter. Oh my god, man. Magical. And so the top grifter, I'm telling you, this is the evolution. People see everybody's gonna be like, oh, you're just hating on. No, nigga, I was sitting down here watching, taking notes in the yard, nigga. Niggas think I'm playing. I ain't playing. I'm so serious. So great. Tate was the top grifter of all of it. Like he was the master class, but the reason he fucked up, and this is why you knew he couldn't let go of the game. He could not let go of the fucking game. Once he got that dough, he should have fucking scurried off somewhere. He was coming back to Romania, talking shit about Romania, and like, bro, you were online admitting that you had like just fugazi ass relationships. Like most of these niggas, he was lying, but he was the king of lying. That's why I give him credit. He's like the Ric Flair of this fucking grifter shit. Like even now, he's going down grifting. Like he's gonna die grifting. Even in jail, I think he's grifting. I hope. Like what did I say? Free Tate for entertainment purposes. The internet is a much funnier place when Tate exists. I have great moments with young kids that I was working with, just making fun of the top G and just asking girls what color their fucking Bugatti was. And them looking at us like, what are you talking about? Well, clearly she's a brokey. And we would die laughing. It was the greatest shit ever for like 4 weeks. I had such a good time. And they took our top G away. Top grifter. But anyway, yeah, this giant fucking like fake internet guru thing started. And people started really believing their image on the internet instead of what they were really like in real life. They forgot they were in real life. Like niggas are living through a screen. And because they had no grounding in reality, compound that with the fact that most of these kids grew up with the internet already. They didn't have the natural instincts of being the outside nigga. Like I'm an outside nigga. Exactly. Thinking because lack of father, a lack of love, a lack of direction, a lack of proper family structure. That is what the problem that we got going on in America. There's no family structure in America. Everything's fucking topsy-turvy and niggas that no grounding. They don't love themselves. Yep, the West is taking the L. But I listen, everybody else talking about I'm gonna flee. No, nigga, I want to be at the epicenter. Because it's gonna hit everybody. Eventually the great crash out is gonna spread worldwide. No, man, you stay and rebuild. Because listen, the crash out, if you're a capable human being, you're gonna be very powerful. So powerful in the crash out. Because the crash out is going to be universal. See, China's doing a stupid fight. China's trying to stop it, but it's too late. The seed has already been planted in these people's heads. So as soon as they lose control and they get access to that particular information, which is going to happen at some point, like you can't control through fear for so long. At some point, the dam breaks. The people have to want to be a part of the nation. They have to feel a common like morale or theory. You feel what I'm saying? So China's going to crash out too. This is going to be a little bit later, but China is so fucked because their men are fucked. And they got a bunch of women that are not born. And so they got a bunch of fucking dudes just hanging around. They're just mad. And there's no women around because they had that first kid policy and they fucked the game up because now you got a bunch of dudes that end up going to offices, going to university, not being useful, and they can't get sex because all the women only go to the highest of the highest because there's so few of them. So you got dudes just living in a fucking shoebox. Beat his meat to fucking Wi-Fi girls and shit. I don't know. Or Wolfie girls. But see, here's the thing with the crash out, though. This is what I'm trying to get people to understand. A lot of people lost themselves into the internet, and it became an internet addiction. Like, I think the internet addiction is worse than porn addiction. Like, at least porn, like, there's an end game to it. Like, you fucking beat your meat, you get out of there. But, like, fucking the internet, you just sit there scrolling all day. That's what motherfuckers sit there and do all day. Scroll, look at their computer screens, watch videos of streamers all day. Oh, TikTok, no TikTok. And see, the other thing with these internet kids didn't exist yet. Never enough. This is the facts, and this is the problem with people. And so the people, like these kids already grew up with internet, and then they missed out on 2 years of socialization and pivotal points. Like whatever point you go through in those like early development stages, you need to talk to kids. I'm realizing with a lot of kids, they don't have the ability to socialize. Like they're just awkward. They don't want to do. They're just scrawny. They're fucking weak. They have no like zest about no like maturing boy. Nothing. It's just little fucking scrawn kids. I'm just like, oh my god, you're finished. You're just food for me. I have no worry about the youth coming up, and that's dangerous. Because you combine that with the fact that most of the people who do man jobs are now at retirement age within the next 10 years. They're getting out of there. And so these motherfuckers are getting out of there. There's nobody in between because everybody started to become a grifter and try to make money online. And they were coders and developers and all these other things on the computer. They got soft and weak. They ain't got no yard experience. They're not out in real life. They're behind a computer screen. Like I asked the kid, like, you think about doing this in trades? No, I like my work right in front of me. Like just right on the computer, I could just type it. I'm like, nigga, so you just want to sit in your ass all day? Like that's what you're telling me? Basically, yeah, I just want to sit in my butt all day. Okay, nigga, I don't know what to tell you. You want a desktop. You want to be an inside dude, you're destined to crash out. And see, now what has happened, we made a fucking drastic mistake. See, they were paying some of these people hundreds of thousands of dollars to basically sit on a computer desk. And yeah, they're doing, I guess, making money or some helping the company. I don't know what the fuck they're doing. A lot of this in the tech field is just fake jobs. Daycare center for people. They end up fucking becoming soft and super comfortable because they can afford all this bullshit that they don't need. I met a guy today, or like yesterday. This dude, he bought like $3,000 worth of curtains and he lives by himself. I'm just like, why do you have these expensive curtains? He was mad because one of the curtains weren't motorized. Just looking for bullshit reasons to fucking just. Yeah, good for you, nigga. I don't know what to tell you. I mean, at least you know what hard work is. You know when you can always go back. Post scarcity world, yeah, and everybody lost their instincts and common sense because they're living in la la land. They have all this money. Like, I always think about this. People talking about, I'm losing my house. I don't know what to do. I'm like, you're making how much money? $120,000, and you're stressing, bro. What are you living like? Like, bro, how much money? Like, nigga, if you're making $120,000, just say taxes, fuck it off. You can't live for under 40. You can't. You tell me you don't have $40,000 in your account. Like, you're a single guy living. Why are you spending all this fucking cash ridiculously? They lost the natural instinct to survive. They don't have the ability to do math. Most human beings do not have to do exactly. You have to do something that is hard, that makes you want it. Like I wake up motivated to go to work. I'm so happy when I get to go lift and do shit. It's fun. But a lot of people are not building. They were just getting babysitted at a job thinking somebody's going to give them a handout for the rest of their fucking life. Now, I'm not saying the job is a handout, but your equivalence of work to pay is not what it should be. You're not feeling like if you want to make $1 million, if somebody says, hey, look, I'm going to give you $1 million, just sit down at the computer for the next 20 years of your life. You don't have to do anything work. You just got to sit there for 8 hours. How do you think you're going to feel as a person? Yeah, you're going to be comfortable, but you're never going to grow out of that natural like instinct because you're getting $1 million to do nothing. And you're never going to feel fulfillment because the money doesn't mean anything at a certain point. The money's kind of useless. Man wants to spend his time doing shit. And see, a lot of people weren't doing shit. And you compound that with people got unemployment, remote jobs where they're basically bullshitting at home all day and getting paid. They became fucking zoo creatures. And that's why the crash out is imminent. We got a bunch of zoo creatures that don't know how to interact in the human world anymore. They're zoo humans. They're put in a cage, which is called their house, given their food and feed. Yeah, the Redditors. Giving their food and feed to an employer. And then they got food and everything sent to them. And they got fed this fucking screen telling them, there's a thing you should be scared of. Don't go outside. And they're like, well, I don't want to be sick because then I might have to go get a tested. I might lose my remote gig. So what the fuck are you talking about? Like, people are retarded. Like, people started just living in fear. And the fear only grew because the media kept pushing it. And the media wasn't pushing it because of the agenda. They were just pushing it because it sells. Everybody's interested in it. So it's like a feedback loop. They put out the virus. People watch the virus. People get scared about the virus. They want to know more about the virus. And then the companies realize, well, shit, I'm making more money putting this virus stuff out than I am talking about Granny who fucking knitted the world's largest sweater. Fuck it. Just keep rolling the fucking COVID footage. Just eat this shit up. You got to think about it. The news is content creators. As a content creator, the more you do this shit, you have to start thinking of new things to talk about. Now, not me, because I'm fucking gifted. And I lived a lot of life, so I have real bars to spit. I don't have to worry about all this content creation map and nah. We don't need to know this over here at this Apex Sapien. This is pure gospel. But the grand majority of people, they need a content wheel. And COVID was eating fucking major eyes, getting major views. And they just kept pushing it. And people started getting radicalized because they would hear about people say, well, the vax is not real. And some people are like, the vax is real. And it's like football. And this other thing people forgot. They took away sports. Key component in this whole crash out thing for a lot of dudes. They took away sports for about 6 months to 8 months. And they started to realize, holy shit. These dudes are going crazy on the web over this COVID shit. The virtual crowd. Yeah, see, people act like they forgot. I was in here taking notes about this whole time period. They realized two things in that COVID thing. Niggas are gambling ass niggas in this goddamn country, and niggas don't got hobbies. That's what they realized in this 2 period time. Dude, that's what people don't understand. I mean, history is always changing, things are always things, but when you're living in the moment and you get to really understand because nobody's going to really be able to explain this 20, 40, 60 years from now, like the phenomenon of how life was into the transition. Life just transitions and is a new thing. But if you were like a kid that actually went outside and you got to see how it developed and changed, you have a different perspective. And I firmly believe people born before social media became if you're between the ages, I think now, if you're between the ages like 28, 27 at the lowest, up to about say 44, you're like an internet semi-adult. Yeah, I rode the bus to school. I used to walk because we get bored of the bus. We'll walk 30 minutes just so we can go to McDonald's. I was an outside kid. Like, I remember kids would go outside and there was neighborhoods, and you just play around with the neighborhood kids, and they go to other people's neighborhoods and challenge them in sports. And that's how we were moving back then. We used to have to call people's landlines and say, hey, man, I'm walking to your house. I'll be there in about 40 minutes. He's like, okay. And then you just walk into not a chick's house, but you walk into like your parents' house. Yep. All the stories we know now. You see the kids do. They just stare at their phones. They just go straight to phone. I woke up Saturday morning around 6 or 7 o'clock in the morning, watched my fucking cartoons, ate some goddamn cereals, and I was out the door by 9. And we were making moves, if not sooner. And I would come back when the fucking street lights were on, or I'll spend the night at my friend's house. And that's how I lived my whole from 3rd grade all the way to high school. Just waking up, going to your boy's house. Hey, what's up? What are you doing? Walking into the house sometimes because they leave the door unlocked. I'm telling you, people don't. This time doesn't even exist. I knew neighbors. I would talk to them. I went to neighbors' houses. They showed me how to build things. They show me things. They would ask me. That's all you needed was a bicycle and a skateboard. That's all you needed back in the day. And a scooter. We niggas had raised for scooters. And you will mob through a neighborhood. Moving. Niggas, this is a different time period. It's so funny because I sound like an old head, and some of these people are like, oh, my shit. I still got war wounds. And so here's the thing. These kids are not prepared to go back to real life because the crash out, they were already living the crash out just with the day of like the cell phone, the social media came into play. So a lot of these kids are already living through social media, and it got 10 times amplified because I could not imagine having social media in like the 6th, 7th grade. Oh my God. That's fucking criminal. I can't believe, and there's some of these kids are sooner. I see kids with TikToks that are like the 6th or 5th grade. I'm like, nigga, why are you on TikTok? Why would I do on TikTok? And they just fucking dance in front of the fucking phone. I'm like, you faggots. What the fuck are you doing? Do these fucking gay dances. And I'm just looking at it like, oh my God. Like, social media didn't become, Facebook's just started fucking cracking, not even Facebook, MySpace. When I went to college as a freshman, MySpace was a thing up until like my sophomore year. Then I got into the fucking, MySpace. And MySpace was just like the only controversy you had was who's your top 5, 10 friends or whatever the fuck. That was the only controversy back then. Now these niggas having full on like online battles. My layout was gay. I didn't know how to code yet. My music, I gotta find that old MySpace. That shit was funny. But see, here's the thing. We were basically adults when MySpace was like really, well, let's see. Now it was MySpace like fuck 8th grade, 9th grade. And still, it was just a thing. Like you couldn't take it with you on your phone. Like it was just at home. And so you would see what happened in the day, then you go to MySpace and see somebody's friend change. Yeah, I was born in 91. AOL chat was funny shit too. And even like gaming, like the aspect of gaming, we were still having LAN parties. We would still show up to people's house and play because the internet was not as good yet. Like you have Xbox live chats. Like when I started to get into 9th, 10th grade, Xbox live chats became the fucking thing. The LAN parties are critical. Niggas don't understand how fun LAN parties was because the internet wasn't that good back then. So even if you played, like there was still a fucking lag effect. Exactly, Counter-Strike. Smash Brothers, all types of shit. Halo LAN parties are legendary. And so there was interaction, there was coordination. Niggas had to talk and coordinate things back in those days because we didn't have cell phones and we'd get on the phone, write down notes, and go make basic moves. This is how niggas was moving as a kid. These young niggas sit on the phone and they order, can I get fucking I want pizza, so I'm gonna go do Uber Eats for pizza. And they're like, yay, pizza. Nigga, pizza back in the day was made for it was a mission. We have to go fight, scramble up change, call the pizza people. Sometimes just go over there because the delivery fee was too high and all we had was enough nickels and quarters to fucking get a pizza. So we'll walk to the pizza place. They eat the pizza, they come back home, and they go play again. That's how kids were moving back in the day. These new kids, they don't know shit about this. And so this is why the crash out is fucking devastating. We got kids that were on social media and never got a chance to socialize, missed socialize for 2 years, come back to school with fucking mask on for another year or 2 years. And so for damn near almost, I think we're going on 4 years. I think they just got rid of the mask. For 3 years, 2 years didn't talk to anybody. 1 year had a fucking mask over their face talking to people. How retarded do you think you're gonna be if that's your fucking childhood? You're gonna be a special kid. That's what most of these people are. They're special people. They don't know how to converse. They don't know how to talk. Exactly. We were out there on the yard. We were actually playing. There was a rank and file. I didn't even play with girls. I'm so confused. These boys that hang out with girls. I'm like, why are you hanging out with girls? I never hung out with girls as a kid. Like, I remember and I remember. Oh my god, these memories are so. I feel so bad for the youth because they never got the experience. When I was a young man, nobody had a girlfriend until like maybe 8th grade. And then we started seeing niggas turn. That's when niggas started getting gay on us. But before that time, it was just dudes hanging, kicking it. I didn't even have a girlfriend until maybe my 12th. Yeah, when I was a senior in high school. And it was pointless. It lasted for like 3-4 weeks. And I said, why the fuck did I have? Why was I even dating? What was the purpose of any of this? And that's the thing with guys. These guys, they're just all feminized because all they do is they watch these TikTok dancing ass gay niggas get all these likes, and they want likes because they want the validation because there ain't no dad in the fucking house. Ain't nobody teaching them shit. And so they're looking for their validation through women. And I realized a lot of guys are looking through validation from women. That's a real huge issue, the part of the crash out, because we got guys acting like girls. Guys don't want to take accountability. Mom doesn't have the ability to love. See, here's the thing, that there's a structure, a way that God or the universe has ordained this thing. Man is above. Well, actually, no, it goes the universe, man, wife, children. The man got to be at the top to love the woman, and then give her instructions on how to love how to love the kids. And so it's the father's job to protect them from the mom, because the mom is fucking mad at the kids because they ruin her body. Secretly, all moms hate their kids because they ruin her body. Especially if she was a thin, good-looking girl, she's pissed. That's why most girls don't want to have kids today. It's not because they're scared of pregnancy. They don't want to ruin their body. They want to be fucking Instagram models forever. They just want to get D and be attractive forever. They don't ever want to become a fucking like woman. They just want to be a fucking girl forever. They don't have Madonna stupid shit. Mom is an OF. I know, man. And that's going to be the next crash out. See, guys don't understand that OF shift now has been around for how long has OF been in? OnlyFans been in existence since 2016. So OnlyFans has been around since 2016. And it became popular like what, 2019 is when I started remember hearing about it. Then we had the pandemic in 2020. So like, yeah, for like about 4 years now, OF has existed. Some of the people have kids, and those kids are going to grow up and they're going to crash the fuck out. They're crashing out majorly. Like I said, women have already started the great crash out. Women were the first like litmus test. That's why you got all these crazy girls, because they're just confused about how to exist. All they know how to do is type. They don't know how to actually hang out with a guy. All they know is like, because this is what the habits they built. Women still wanted to get fucked during the pandemic. Well, there's a reason for the sexual degeneracy, because you gotta examine all parts of it. Why? Because there's a natural order to how humans are supposed to interact, which is, man, it's not for the money. It is not for the money. That is incorrect. So you guys gotta understand women. The money is just an excuse. The money is just an excuse for them to be a whore. Don't ever think it's about the money because they're giving that money away to some guy. The problem is that women develop very, very bad habits, and women are not built like men. So during that pandemic for 2 years, you think women were just not having sex? No, women are still having sex. So how do you think they were having sex? Through these dating apps? They weren't going out in public anymore. They were choosing guys based off of screen shit. And so a lot of women had a lot of fucking terrible interactions. Yeah. They had a lot of horrendous sexual interactions that went wrong. There was probably a lot of fucking weird shit going on because you got to think about it. They're choosing guys based off of what they look like in a social profile. Yes. Yes. And so the guy, man, all my dating app profiles are fucking horrendous. That's probably why I didn't get that many dates. I got kicked off of all the dating app profiles. And niggas used to tell me, oh, bro, you got to take a adult picture. Niggas have me take pictures of them in front of a car. I'm like, bro, why you having me take a picture from your car? Oh, bro, it's for the dating app. I'm like, nigga, it's not your car. Man. She don't need to know that. I'm like, bro, what are you? This is the game? Yeah. Deep sad. Deep sad. And so what is occurring in this situation is women are choosing off of superficial things that they see on a screen. They don't actually, they're not interacting with a man. They're interacting with like their idea of a fucking man in the screen. And so they're going in, they're meeting these men. These men are pieces of shit. They basically have them come over. They try to do the romance thing. Then they fuck them and never call them again. And so guys are doing this repeatedly to a bunch of different girls because they realize, oh, that's the game. I just got to lie. And so niggas just started lying. Let me cash app you something. Let me send you this. And then bring her out. Let me fly you out. And now the girl's just getting fucked by a random guy she just met that she got flew out because she can't do anything because she's scared. And so women started to develop a deep, deep distrust of men. That's what I'm finding out in these streets. If you're a direct man, you talk to her like a real woman, she goes like she fucking shocks. Because like her only experience with real shit with a man is like her getting fucked and then basically kicked out like a whore. When she thought I'm gonna go out there and go fuck this guy and then get something, or there's gonna be a relationship. Because a lot of these guys are lying about relationships. These guys will pretend like they're rich. And here's the ultimate game on the platform thing. Make it look like you got a bunch of money, you're super rich. Lie to this girl, talk to her about how I want a relationship. I'm gonna take you out, do this, blah, blah, blah. Bring her out, and then kind of like, I guess, pretend like you're in a relationship, fuck her, and then just not call her back. And guys are doing this with a bunch of girls. And so these girls get burnt one time. They're like, what the fuck? Fuck that. Like, I'm just, and they start losing their mind. So then they go one or two ways. They just fuck more rich guys, the same thing, or they find a beta who they can basically run over the whole time. And that's like their security net. And so that's what the game turned in from the social media shit. Women either look at you as the guy who's just going to fuck her and she's going to have no emotional attachment, or as the beta guy who she's just going to leech off and take your money and all that other bullshit. That's what I'm stating. If you're in a relationship game right now, bro, unless you're an anomaly, trust me on this one. She is playing. She's looking for her exit strategy. I'm just telling you from the heart. I wish the best for all my brothers, but this is just what the game is right now. And so now we got a bunch of women who are, we got a bunch of dudes who are living a fake online profile. That game's not working no more. It's starting to fade, and they're going crazy because they're broke. They were spending money they didn't have, buying things they couldn't afford, and they're starting to spiral because now the money's slowing up. Because now people are losing their jobs. They're getting scared because they don't really have a real skill set. Same thing with a lot of tech bros. Now in the Apex, yeah, I'm telling you, look, and this is why I realized the game is like niggas are definitely not winning out here. I'm not like your average nigga for the most part. Like, dude, like just not even to suck my own dick or anything. And this is like humble brag, but I would say, as far as fitness wise, I'm in the top 1% of that humanity in like that group. Decent job. I don't make a lot of cash, but I got a hustle going on. Like I speak pretty well. I got a lot of good things going for me. And I'm bearing the most options that women come across. I'm getting just stone cold, just no chance. I don't even want a relationship with you. I'm not even trying to play it. I want to do it this way. If it's not this way, I'm out. I'm just like, okay, well, good luck to you, lady. And that's what like almost universally every woman I meet. I've not had a good interaction with a woman. Well, I had one, but really that's because the value, I was way over her value. Like she was shooting out of her league. So yeah, she's gonna do everything. But I'm saying like as far as most the chicks I come across, it's not good out here. They're just looking for a sucker. Looking for a sucker, or they looking for a chat who's just gonna ram them without any questions asked. Yep. But even in real life, here's the thing though, even in real life, see, that was the time period before um the COVID crash. You could have positive experience. Girls liked it when you were like talking to them and you're like not aggressive, but you're like, hey, what's up? What's cracking? But now in today's age, after the women don't know how to interact with an actual man. Like they're terrified of you. They look at you like you're this strange creature because so many niggas have crashed out by women. And I explained earlier in the broadcast. There's different forms of the crash out. Some people crash out with drugs. Some people crash out in gambling. Some people crash out with women. Some people sign their life away to a woman and just give up. They just have a kid because they want to keep this chick because they're scared of being by themselves. They want somebody to be around. Nah, nigga, that's not how the game goes. You gotta play this shit by yourself. And that's what the crash out is about. People don't know how to think anymore because everything has been so shuffled. I'm about to get out of here pretty soon, but everything has been so shuffled. Everything has been so watersheded, whatever you want to call it, discolored, that people cannot think in reality anymore. They're looking at reality like it's a fucking like the Instagram, and they're wondering where's all the Instagram girls at, and then like they're looking for something that does not exist. And what happens when you look for something that you don't? That when you're looking for something that does not exist, it's called delusion. Niggas are living a delusion. They're living in lies. They're living in a fake universe. They're living in La La Land. They're in Disneyland in their head. And so the ride of Disneyland, which is America, which is the system, is slowly breaking down because so many people have been living in Disneyland for so long. Nobody's taking care of the maintenance. And now we have like infrastructure failing. In Texas, the big problem is the fucking electrical system. Like the shit is always doomed to crash in the great big freeze. Like this is a thing that we know is coming every year. Yeah. This is a thing that we know is coming every year. And they have done nothing to fix it. They just like, all right, well, let's see how many people are going to die this time. And so like, it's funny, but it's not funny because this is like universally across America. Like we have water lines that are fucked. We have sewage systems that are fucked. Freeways that need to be rebuilt. And there's not a lot of guys that are even around to do it. So the infrastructure is going to crack because as the older people start to retire out and they have to start to replace new people, dude, I laugh at it. I'm begging for the crash out. 8 more years of Biden. Because here's the thing. I realize this is a losing fight. So I'm like, look, would you consider yourself a prepper? To a degree. I mean, the way I look at it, I need to do better, but I got enough that I can bargain with. And I have a bow, I have hunting gear, I have all the other shit to be able to survive God tent. So like I'll get on the road. Like I won't just hang around the city. I'll get on the road. I'll figure out how to get a truck, get the gas and all that other good shit. But I'll survive. I ain't gonna just die. A lot of things are just gonna fold and die. I think most people, if this shit really got bad, most people wouldn't even leave the house. But yeah, bring the crash out. Yeah, I tell you. Look, and here's the thing: the faster we fucking hit and the harder we hit, the more everything else is going to be just like splattered. So it's easier to go through the wreckage. See, what you don't want is like a molded house that's falling apart. What you rather have is it just fucking get hit by a fucking one of those big ass cranes with the demolition ball and just blew that shit apart. Because that way it's easier to go through everything. If it's all molding and sinking and falling apart, nigga, that's just it's toxic. I want that shit all in the open. Just let everything crash out, and then we just go through the wreckage. And those who are smart and intelligent are going to find out how to have the opportunities because everybody's starting from scratch and from zero basically. And then you just go and you rebuild, and then nature will rewrite itself. Things will be back to normal, not back to normal, but things will start to make sense because women will be the first litmus test. When women start going to the strong masculine guys and they start behaving, like real women, then we'll be in a good situation. That's when I know the world is corrected. When men start getting respect again, that's when things will be back to normal. But right now, most men that women come across are not respectable, so they don't respect the territory, which is why we have the situation we have. And because they don't respect the territory, we're all suffering because there's way more of them. And one of the big crucial problems we had was having women vote. And I'm not saying it's a bad thing, but single women voting, they don't vote with their heads; they vote with their fucking hearts. Yeah. See, that's the other thing. Women only start to reform. But no, here's the thing. I still think it's an act. Well, no, it's not an act. It's like single moms. Like single moms treat men the best. You get your best treatment from a single mom or an older lady that like she's out of her prime. Like the fucking grannies fucking love me. Grannies give me all the fucking attention and love. Grannies make you feel like a man. Older moms that are done, like they're out, they're just finished. Oh, they love you. But when a girl is young and hot and her body's right and she thinks she's hot shit, she can get any guy. She doesn't, with no baggage, she doesn't respect you because she's like, I can get any of you guys. Like, I can just fuck you and you can't do that. And it's like, I'm like, they think they're men. They think because they can fuck somebody, it means something. Because they hear guys talk about they can fuck somebody. So all women think they're men. So they think if I fuck somebody, that means I fucked him. I own him. It's like, no, your fuck is not the same as our fuck. There's no gratifying in the woman's fuck. The gratification only comes from a man fuck because it's like, oh yeah, I had to work for this. I had to build myself into this to get this piece of ass. Yep, that's the girl's real game. But these girls don't have any real game. And here's the thing. They think beta men are like the real men. Because these beta men, they put on these fucking acts. They put on the suit. They talk like blah, blah, blah. But when shit hits the fan and shit goes crazy, they fucking, they shriek up like a bitch. But see, women don't ever see that because they only see the superficial. They just say, well, he's buying me things. And like, even though he's not that great, whatever, he does what I tell him to do. And one girl described it to me as like, oh, it's like she said, if you had a dog that did everything you told him to do and say and was bigger and stronger than you, would you keep it? I'm like, yeah, you got a point. She's like, yeah, that's how I feel. I got these guys that just do what I want them to do, but they're weak ass, disgusting men. But women are just like, whatever, I'll just fucking Chad to make up for it. And that's why Chad's gotta stop fucking these girls. That's why I know a lot of you Chads ain't real to the game. A lot of you Chads are fucking these hoes and giving them the power. Stop giving them power. No respect for them. Exactly. And it's sad. I see this shit all the time in people's homes where they get no respect from the fucking there's no respect. But anyway, man, I'm calling it a night. Your boy's tired. This was a fun one. I would love to keep going, but your man has to be on the yard tomorrow morning. We got OT. We're doing 10 hours like I fucking like because I'm a fucking warrior. I love fighting. Put me on the battlefield longer. Now, last thing about the trades. All these people that try to dog the trades out, look. Thank you. Hey, you're welcome, man. I'm doing more of these because I enjoy spitting to the camera and it gives me something to do. Because as I'm getting older, I realize I just got to talk to people. This could have been like a comedy stand. But anyway, appreciate you guys. Get on the yard. Start linking to trades or going to cyber. That's going to be your way out. Learn how to sell a skill set you have. Sell on the internet. Leverage this motherfucker because this is just my clone talking to, and this clone's going to live forever. And yeah, man. We could jump on a podcast. I got to see your work, son. Show me the work or I'll hop on a podcast. Well, actually, no. I'll bring you on. Fuck it. We'll bring you on when send me a message. Are you on the Twitter machine? Mr. Jacob? Because like I'll talk to anybody, man. All right, appreciate it. Yeah, we'll set something up, man. I appreciate talking to you. I love the feedback. Feedback makes you better. All right, love you guys. Enjoy the fucking rest of the night. Beautiful fucking Sunday. Send me a fucking DM. Look, if you want to be on the podcast, just send me a DM.